there's people, everything they do seems to work out. They always seem to be successful. Here's the story of a group where it feels just like the natural step that this thing is going to work out as well. And that's the story of what they're up to now. Let's draw. So there's the person called Brad Langle. And in the 2000s, he builds basically Ocampo, it's called, into a top producer.
Ocampo is the largest operating gold-silver mine currently in the Chihuahua state.
Then a few years later, like there he gained a lot of respect and shareholders that trust him. In 2008, he founds another company, and this time he gets somebody else with him on board, a person called Glenn Jasome. And Glenn basically is just shareholder in this company. Brad is stepping in as CEO. This company is called Go Gold. And with that company, they did lots of good stuff. They basically built the so-called parallel tailings mine, profitable mine. And they also advanced and sold the Santa Gertrude deposit to Agnico Eagle. And so what they did next was, I think that was 2019. Yeah, that was 2019. They got into the next company. So this time, Glenn became CEO, and Brad was just a founding shareholder with him. And so this company was called Silver Tiger. And basically this also ran pretty well. And now if you look at the market cap of those two companies, they're pretty decent. So if we now in 2025, so Go Gold, their market cap is roughly 370 million, and Silver Tiger, how big is that? Silver Tiger is at 230 million. And now this year, they basically got their next project to the exchange, and this project is called Axo Copper. And what you can see here is they first got a gold project, they got a silver project, and now they're getting into copper as well. And all of those three projects, they are, all of them are in Mexico. So they like to stay in the same location, which is obviously a good thing. If you know your way around in the local situation, then it's good to stay there, because you just have to go through all the unknown that you have with places that you don't know yet. So let's see what they're up to this time, and how the odds are that they're gonna be successful again. If we look at the market caps of the companies that they've done before, there's still good upside for that. Short disclaimer, I'm Andy. Here I'm just sharing my personal insights on early stage investments. Nothing what I'm saying here is financial advice or something. Stock investment is risky. You can lose everything, especially in early stage company. This is what I'm personally most interested in, because this is where you can get the huge payoffs. But please don't rely on me. Do your own research. And I'm compensated for doing this video. I'm doing this together with the MK Investment Conference. I'm not paid by the company itself, but I think you should still know that. And I personally own shares in this company, so I'm kind of excited to see how it plays out in the future. Let's get back to the video. Who's Axo Copper? So Axo Copper, as we've already seen, is a junior mining company, and they found a deposit and they are testing it. So that is where they are right now, and they do that with so-called advanced exploration. So they're drilling holes and not just walking on the ground anymore, doing geosurveys only to know where they should pull the drill rig. They already did a so-called 43-101 technical report, but that did not include a resource estimate. So that makes the company somehow like post-discovery, but also pre-resource. They're somehow in between. And they probably won't get into the next stage before late 2026. That is because of their strategy. I mean, if you look at their headline says basically discovering Mexico's next high-grade copper district. So in order to have a district, you need to have a certain size of what you're looking at. And before they want to go into the details, they want to make sure that it's really a district play and it's a proper size. And once that is confirmed, they're gonna go more on the stuff refining and actually seeing how the detailed work looks like. They basically have one project with a size bigger than 110 square kilometers. This is roughly, this is almost like 16,000 soccer fields. So that definitely is something you can work with. And their primary drill focus is one of the zones that is called Las Marias. And this was artisanal mined until 2022. So this makes sense. Artisanal style mine means there apparently was something to be found. People are not going to do that when they don't get anything out. So and that was pretty recently. So there actually seems to be something. We have to find how much. The project value of Axo Copper, as the name suggests, is it's basically all copper. There might be some silver to it, but basically it's a copper play. They got a mine close by, which is always good. It's called the Peña Colorada mine, and so this is like 7 to 8 kilometers from La Huerta, which is like the region where they are at. And this is actually one of the Mexico's largest open pit mines. It's iron ore, but still it's very good if there's a mine close by. And so this is good because you need infrastructure if you want to build something, right? That means there's roads, power, port logistics and everything, enough water, all the kind of stuff you need if you actually want to have a mine. And having a mine nearby just proves that it's probably going to work there as well. But who is the key person driving this forward? In the beginning, we've already heard about the two people. That is the same group basically that did Go Gold and Silver Tiger, some companies that are worth in hundreds of millions. This time they brought on a new guy as CEO, and this name is Jonathan Egido. So Jonathan is the CEO and president of Axo Copper, and he stepped into that role 12 months before the IPO with the goal to actually bring the company public.
Axo Copper pulls off first IPO on the TSXV in 2025 with its La Huerta project in Mexico.
And he succeeded with that, which is nice to see the first successes. And his professional background is pretty multifaceted. So he got both the capital market experience, but also some technical mining background, which is nice. So his mining engineering background is before his career in capital markets. He did mine engineering. He worked for Detour Gold, a big company, and he has a Bachelor of Applied Science in Mining Engineering from Queens. So that is nice to have that blend of technical side and capital market side. So for the capital market side, he was actually a mining analyst, which means that he analyzed the financials of tons of different projects. Which is nice because then you already get an overview of which are the projects that ran well, which don't, and you can learn a lot from the mistakes that other people already did. He did that, for example, at Desjardins Capital Markets, which actually covers, I think it was Silver Tiger from the capital market side, one of the companies that basically he is now a group of. Let's see what Jonathan is up to with Axo Copper. What's his goal and the strategy to get there? We've already heard that it's a district scale play, which is clear also how they're putting in the next drill holes by not getting the resource first, but actually showing that it's really a district. Let's ask him what his goal and strategy is for that company. Where you want to bring the company? What's your goal for that?
Yeah, I mean, so for us, when I think about long-term, the company, where we want to go, and really that ties into the kind of asset we got, which is we found something that was run artisanally, small scale, very high grade, but they weren't doing any kind of real exploration, right? So our goal is, well, they were running the project at 250 tons per day at a very high grade. Let's take a step back, drill it out, and then see at what rate it could be restarted. And that really ties into kind of the people behind it, our founders, myself, and kind of how we envision the company, which is we need something that we can be able to advance on our own, right? There's a lot of copper projects out there that are massive, very low grade, multi-billion-dollar builds, and really the exit goal there for those companies is you can only sell it to someone who can actually build and develop the project, right? So for us, I think we have a project in our hands that a junior could finance themselves, build themselves, and in order to do that, you know, it needs to be basically you need to have grade. So everything kind of works together. But yeah, the long-term kind of goal of the company would be see how big it is, see what we have on our hands, and then determine at what rate this mine should be restarted.
What are the most important milestones that get us there, especially looking at the next quarters?
Yeah, so the most important milestones immediately coming up are, like I mentioned, just drilling. It's actually quite simple, just drilling it and test for scale. So that's the purpose of the 15,000 meter drill program we're running right now. We're about almost 4,000 meters into it right now. So we're coming out with, you know, market updates every month. So first assay results from this program came back in August, second batch in September. So it's just we've been delivering news every month now as we get assay results back. Not only are we testing the main system around Las Marinas where the family was mining and trying to step out from there, but we also have a second drill rig testing for regional targets that we've been meaning to drill for a bit of time now, where we've seen, you know, results on surface of 10, 11% copper at surface, over pretty good strike length. So not only are we trying to expand on where the family was already mining before we got there, but also make some kind of new discovery, because the ground has never really been properly explored or tested.
When we look at the team who is running this, there is clear that there is just a big overlap with Go Gold and Silver Tiger. And this is awesome because we know there is a team that actually can pull stuff off because they've already shown it. And they can also basically share the overhead and everything. Obviously, it's cheaper to have the same person in 3 companies than in just one. And it's a team that knows how to deal with each other. So I really, really like that part because you have lower overhead and you know it's a team that can work together, because if they couldn't, they would not assemble a third company and they're basically the same umbrella. What is the incentive structure of the people that are there? I mean, the founding shareholders, insider, and management, they collectively own roughly 35% of the company, which is good. So they've got a strong incentive to get it done. And before the IPO, they raised, I think it was 15 million. And as far as I know, almost all of that was it was privately raised, and lots of money from the group itself, and everybody bought in, including the new CEO, which is exactly what I want to see, that they have their money on the line and they want to make this a success because, they put money in. As I already said, Jonathan already showed that he wanted to take it public. Here's what Jonathan said, what he plans to do with that company.
Because there's a lot of people who, myself included, I put personal money into this thing in 2022, and we knew, we're just starting the company, and we knew a lot less about the project. I'm willing to put money in and sit there for years, decades. I don't care, as long as it takes. I love it. I'm interested in it.
This is exactly what I want to hear. So we've heard the strategy and the milestones. Let's see how that goes hand in hand with the cash that is needed to actually reach that. So on June 4th, we've had a cash balance of roughly 10.8 million. which is left over from the IPO that they did with, I think, like that's net of fees from 11.5 million. So let's ask Jonathan how much of that still is in the bank and how they plan to advance it with that.
So almost all the money goes just into straight drilling, or is there any other studies that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, the money goes into property payments to the family, which are, you know, about $2 million a year. And those will be ending in 2027, but it's between property payments and drilling.
Okay, so how fast are you gonna spend the money that is still? Because like last statements, we were roughly at 10 million from the financing that you've got done.
Yep. Yeah. So the financing gets us through the 15,000 meter drill program is what its intention was, and then so we're like 4,000 meters into that 15,000 so far. So we'll probably be wrapping up that program based on how fast we've been drilling, maybe wrapping it up in April or May, that time frame.
Okay, so then we're getting the results, and then probably next raise to fund the next steps.
Yeah, we'll see how much we have defined, and then in terms of, you know, next steps for what the next drill program will look like. Like, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves in planning a drill program when we are not even halfway done the initial one yet. But yeah, at some point, like, we'll be reassessing what we've been finding and then the next strategy for tackling the next drill program.
Okay, so that's yeah, okay. You probably don't have to set that in stone yet. So then you're going to decide if you do other drilling or if you're going to start with the studies on that.
Yeah, or a combination, or some kind of combination of both. But, you know, one step at a time. Honestly, the part of the rationale for, you know, this isn't the kind of drilling that you'd want to do where you pre-plan, you know, the next 1,000, 2,000 meters of drilling in front of you, right? You need to be dynamic, and you need to basically reassess and see what you're finding after, you know, each hole, right? So reassess as you go, and it's a very malleable drill program. We move the drill around a lot, but yeah, so it's just, you kind of build the drill program as you go. You don't just have a set location where you're going to drill the next 15,000 meters. It needs to be dynamic, and you need to move on the go.
Yeah, do we know a quarter or a month when we're going to have the results from the program?
Yeah, I mean, the results are going to be coming out, you know, probably like roughly every month.
Okay, so for the next month, over probably then for the next like 2-3 quarters, probably.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool.